So, welcome everybody. I'm gonna watch this video. I'm not gonna watch like the whole 2 hours. A little bit. Hopefully it does have like little. It's fine. I'm just gonna skim through it. Like see if I can find. Because it's 2 hours. But I am curious as an artist myself. Who's also in like in the freelance world. I think I'm not doing that bad, but I can always do better, right? So let's see what he says right here. I'm very curious, and this is why I want to check this out before I start streaming. Like playing the game because I want to watch. Now it froze on me.
Run into when I'm consulting creatives is they don't think big enough about themselves.
Okay.
Might run into when trying to actually seriously be a professional.
Okay.
So I think that kind of opens up that sort of like discusses the scope of things. But what I'd like to start.
Let's check another volume.
And this is like not that like official. We're just chilling, right? But like, how I'm sure a lot of people are asking, how did you get this good?
Do you know WoW streamers?
Yes.
Take that, but art. It's all I did. No friends.
Ouch.
No wife and kids. Just me and art, pretty much. And I know life takes for a long time.
Why did you decide to start streaming? And when did you decide to start streaming?
I started streaming because I was lonely.
Okay.
It's sad. I mean, it's just like once you okay. I'll answer seriously. So I was desperate. No, I mean that was a serious answer, but I'll go more into detail. I was really desperate because I didn't want to work at McDonald's. I found a website called DeviantArt, and I'm like, because I was looking for some pictures or some shit. And I kind of doodled here and there like throughout my life, but it was nothing like super serious. And I'm like, oh, DeviantArt. I saw some images. I click on them. I read the comments, and I'm like, oh, commission for blah blah blah. I'm like, what do you mean commission? People get paid for this? What's happening? So I started messaging a bunch of artists, pretty much just asking, like, are you getting paid for this? How much? Blah blah blah. No one answered besides two.
I
sent like 30 to 40 like.
Yeah, a lot of artists are not very open when you ask them how much you get paid or anything like that. Believe it or not, even though like the art community is very like close, there are some artists that will not help you at all. They will not they will not tell you any advice. How to get into the industry, how to get into freelance, how to get into any of that. I had to learn everything I know right now, literally by myself or watching YouTube because there's some people are willing to share some advice and how to get into all that. There are art like there's it was like streaming it back then too. There's not that many streamers that will help you out either. Like how to do stuff and this and that because everything was like hardcore competition and I understood that. But yeah, like it's a perfect example right here. Not many artists helped me out at all. I remember one artist helped me out, but he became a douchebag because he was one of those people that would like tell me something where I didn't really ask, but like he told me something and then he wants something in return right away. Like he had to get something in return, like instead of just genuinely telling me or like even when I don't ask, he just tells me and I was like, okay, now you owe me something, and it's like that's the only time that I had that kind of experience of that. But then like other artists didn't really reply to me or anything like that, so I had to figure everything myself. So I agree on that part.
Messages, only two of them answered, and one of them pointed me towards a website called Conceptartorg, which is dead now. And in there was pretty much, I'd say I was lucky because there was already information, quote unquote, readily available for me. I just kind of had to follow.
What do you mean information readily available? What does that mean?
So it was a forum.
Yeah.
And everyone was posting what they were practicing and how were. So let's, speed run this pretty much.
I'm speedrunning this video. I'm not watching 2 hours.
And that is the very like TLDR beginning of my getting like weirder and weirder about it.
It's one
And
guy.
he kept oh dude, let me tell you about this guy real quick. He had a website
Okay.
that was like password locked. It was like his own gallery of like just weird shit. And he gave me the password so that I would go in and like upload. But I didn't just go in and upload. I looked through to see what the fuck is this guy doing. It is like all all kinds of weird stuff.
Oh my, yeah, it
I
is
saw
whole
him
weird
as
Hunter.
half kangaroo, half anime girl. Which, by the way, there wasn't many furries back then, so he was probably a pioneer at the time.
I see. Okay.
I'm the only
No, this is definitely
Furious.
so
Furious.
were you drawing like weird fetish stuff?
It wasn't really weird. I stopped at the weird stuff, which I'm not gonna describe because it's very TOS. But he kept like increasing his prices because I kept saying no until he just quit. But I wasn't paid a lot.
Okay.
I would be paid a lot now. But
If you went back and you did hentai, yeah. So if you were getting money per commission for this?
yes.
Okay.
It wasn't a lot, yeah.
So the real job, not to say that whoever does hentai is not real. I'm just saying that this guy in particular was just his own thing, personal thing. I'll rephrase. My published
What?
job.
So I'm sorry. Before that though, did you? So I'm trying to get a chronological timeline.
And I'm giving you.
Okay. So like what I'm asking
I went
is,
from hentai to published.
but you went straight there. You didn't keep doing hentai stuff.
No.
Okay, so you did hentai for one
Hentai.
and then you are moving. Okay, cool. All right, we're good. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was working for him, practicing on my own.
Hentai.
I was building my portfolio completely unrelated to that. And I jumped straight into like publishing because I just
Publishing, okay.
You know, I wasn't pretty much like sharing everything I was doing, so people didn't know who I was. But I put a portfolio together and I started emailing companies. One of them was AEG, the people who made Shadowrun, actually.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I worked for them. I don't remember if I worked on
Really?
Shadowrun because it was like a long time ago and they use like code words.
Yeah.
They don't usually use the actual project's name, just
Yeah.
in case.
Yeah. To not like anything. Yeah, I had a friend of mine's working on something right now for.
Sure, I've done some like cyber.
What was that? What was that company that made Walking Dead? EMD? Something like no, that's not EMD. Let's see. Where is it? AMC. AMC. He's working for a show for AMC, but you can't announce the name or anything like that. They probably have a code name too as well when they started it out. He's about to release it like next year or something like that. But yeah.
Stuff. I think it's even like somewhere out there on the internet still. And yeah, they were my very, very first published like printed work.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the first work you did. So, how did you get that job?
I emailed them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Emailing, huh?
Artists, you want a tip? Okay.
Email
I don't want to
people.
give bad advice.
Yeah.
I don't want to give bad advice, but this worked for me, so do it at your own cost. Some companies don't have work like job inquiry emails. You just cannot find them, right? So how do you apply for that? Let me tell you what I did. I contacted the anytime that would happen, I would contact the support to move me to the art director.
That's this is a classic sales move. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but I didn't know better, so I just did it. I'm like, how
Very
the fuck
smart.
am I gonna get there?
Wow.
So I was like, sorry, like I would say, there's this art director, blah blah blah. Like I would know their name. Like, could you move me? I wouldn't lie, but I would make it seem like I knew them.
Yeah, that another very good move. Yeah.
I wouldn't say like, oh, I know this guy. I would just like type confidently, like, oh, could you move me to blah blah blah?
Yes.
Like for this project, like, yeah.
So there's a
yeah.
lot of things that you're saying right now that like we kind of have to slow down a little bit because these are really, really important
Wow.
points.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like
Okay.
particularly that
I didn't
you
think
are
about that at
contacting
all. That's
people
very
directly,
smart.
right? Number one, this is
That's
something that a lot of artists and creatives don't understand intuitively.
see. Here's the thing, though. With art booths, that's like the one thing I hear about art booths. It's like not necessarily you're selling your art. You don't want to like. Of course, if you sell your art, that's really good. But in art booths, what they keep telling me, because I'm gonna be very new to it. It's gonna be my second art booth, or hopefully three art booths together. Um, is to market yourself, to brand yourself, to put yourself out there, or like so sort of like you're doing like a pre-interview when a company comes up to you, right? Because I had that happen to me on TwitchCon 2019. It's dead now because of COVID, but it is what it is. It happens. Like the biggest one that I got like for an offer kind of thing. It wasn't like really like an offer, but it was like to work with the company for like a charity thing, right? And I was Able Gamers. I haven't heard anything back from them. It's been a year or so, and I completely understand because of COVID and all that. But they're like interested of me of like making a T-shirt design, right? For their for like a charity, and I was excited. I was like, oh, that's really dope. And it was the CEO too. It wasn't like somebody who was working for Able Gamers. It was actually the CEO. Um, and a part of me does want to kind of contact him again and just say and just go with it. And it's like, hey, we met in 2019 about this and that. I was wondering, about the charity thing. I know it's like, I know it's a year later, but it's like because of COVID and all that, and like, things are somewhat getting back to normal. I was wondering something like that, right? So I've been thinking about doing that lately. I still have his email too. Like the CEO, the I don't know if he's still CEO or not because it's been a year, but yeah, I'm thinking about doing that and just like going with it because right now I have one company. I work for one company and that's it right now. Like directly, and I want to work more for like do more crossovers kind of thing too. So yeah, I am actually thinking about doing that. And that's like that is the good sales pitch right there. But because they did buy some paintings of mine too. So it's not super random. They bought like 3 paintings of me too at that time. So yeah, that's why it's like I'm very curious like to see them again or contact them and all that. So yeah, that is that does make sense about like selling yourself and marketing yourself like that. And it's better in person than on the phone sometimes, or also on the like digital because you're talking to them directly and all that. Like so, more
because they tend to create with a sort of like sort of like a divine mindset. They want to like put what they want into the world, but they're not thinking in terms of how to monetize it or whatever. One of the best things that you can do is directly reach out to people in exactly the way that you said, and not assume that people are just going to find you through your work.
No, not in the beginning. Once you have like a steady, I'm still a baby when it comes to social media. Like I feel like I'm just wetting my toes right now. I don't even have a foot in completely. But from what I like, I'm lucky to have people like you and literally like everyone to help me out and give me like bits and pieces.
So what
I agree with that.
was it that caused you to email this publisher?
Oh, here we go.
Why did you email several publishers?
Yeah, you probably did. It did.
How did that work?
Multiple.
Let me think. This was a while back. I knew like trading card games existed and I liked them, and I knew they have like art in them, and I also knew other artists who were doing like card art.
Okay.
Which is a very very specific
type of art.
Job, and art as well. Yeah. So I was like, oh shit, this looks really cool. This looks like something I would enjoy doing and getting paid for. So I'm gonna type on Google top 10, top 20 TTRPG studios or game boards. Like I would literally just like top 10 things.
Yeah, the art style does fit that. Yeah.
Email,
like
spam.
For me personally,
I mean, I wouldn't spam them, but I was just
like for me personally, my art style would not fit in a card game like Magic's Gathering and all that kind of stuff. Pokemon maybe, right? But they're very exclusive. Like artists in Pokemon are very very, very, very exclusive. You can't even announce that you're an artist if you're making Pokemon art. Um, so yeah. So it's like that makes sense with his art style. It totally makes sense why you went that direction too in the
One
beginning.
email every 3 months. And every time, okay, so this part is actually really, really important for artists, in my opinion, is that you need to keep, even if you don't get a message saying like, oh, we got your portfolio, like still email them, don't spam them. You want to give a breathing time between
Yeah, like a week, a
emails,
month.
and every time you update them, show them a new portfolio. And that will show that not only you're working towards like improving and you're constantly working on something, but also I know shows like more than just your art, shows your confidence, shows that you're like willing, blah blah blah, which are like important qualities for like art directors. And reliable is an important one.
So you emailed all of these guys. You got one response, right? Like
No.
one job.
No, I
Okay.
emailed a bunch and I got a few.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I was just saying AG because it's like, you know, this is probably what people would know. But I did get a bunch of like indie studios that probably are not even like around. They were like no names,
Yeah.
basically, like startups.
And did you do work for them,
Yeah.
all of them? And then were you at that point, like, was your income part time? Was it full time? Like, what was? Where were you at this point? So you sent those emails. You've got a few jobs.
Okay. This part I'm not proud of. Do you know freelancer.com?
Oh no!
Just explain it to me. It's
Oh
like Fiverr.
no!
It's a horrible website. It's
Yeah.
probably worse than Fiverr.
Oh god, no!
It's a place where you like bid. Pretty much people are just bidding the lowest amount for the highest quality, and people post jobs.
Yeah.
All the artists or whatever.
I was gonna do that, but I decided not to. It's bad. It's
post
horrible.
Prices, and you post like your.
It's like construction.
And the person who posted the job will pick whoever they want, honestly.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Mm-hmm. And then that's how you were getting work. For the longest time, it was a combination of like indie card art or, you know, companies like AEG on the smaller end, which then another company you will know is FFG, which is Fantasy Flight Games. Mm-hmm. They stuck around for a while. I did some stuff for them. But I was always supplementing that with extra stuff. I was literally a workaholic, so I was full timing this.
Okay. Full timing this like, in terms of like, but your
time and time. Okay. Yeah, not money wise.
Enough to sustain myself.
How did you advertise on Freelancer and get jobs through Freelancer?
Oh, you just read what posts interest you. And then you
send your resume. Yeah.
Okay, so you were outreaching to people that directly for their job.
Devin, let me tell you something. Regardless of like my connections and what I've accomplished, I've only got like 2 or 3 jobs ever from friends. Like everything else was either me.
Yeah, I mean, like sometimes the direct approach is different. Because on Twitter, I had to do direct approach, right? Because like. I do digital and nutritional, right? And for the longest time, I didn't get that many nutritional jobs. So what I had to do is figure out a way how to get into like how to make money while I'm looking for to get jobs with nutritional and making my own stuff. So what I did was I went to Facebook, Twitter, even Discord at some point, like all over this place, and ask and just post my stuff like. Hey, this is what I do. My and and I was like, always go with like I do sketches for free, and you know I do sketches for free. And that's how I guess I got over people. But in the beginning, yeah, I just did them for free for $5 when I barely started. I did them for cheap. I was just trying to get my name out, and yeah, so I do agree with him about that because he went with the company route. I went more 100% freelance, and I honestly, a part of me does want to go now, like go to companies now, because like with the artwork that I do and variety artwork that I do now, so it's like now I have way more confidence in myself than I did way back. He had way more confidence than I did way back.
reaching out or I got reached out.
I mean, he's in a
I
different
was
level.
never the lucky guy. Like my story is not the lucky guy who gets like.
That's why it's so
in-
important. So everything that we're talking about right now already is like so valuable because the and we'll maybe it'll come together when we sum it up like later. I'm taking a lot of notes.
Oh yeah.
But-
I gotta go down there. Okay.
meetings
Here
I,
we go.
Done. Oh, hold on.
Yeah, I need to upload on ArtStation, man.
Yeah, out of the like
I forgot
images,
ArtStation.
hundreds of images that I made, I uploaded the ones that I'm like okay with showing, and
Yeah.
even then that's like outdated. And also those images are gonna be like more polished than anything that I have on Twitter, just because I spent more time on them.
So you would so walk me through like how you would introduce yourself in an email.
It depends for who as well. Like companies that are a bit more like indie companies, I'd be more lax.
Yeah, more relaxed. Yeah.
So I would be like, hey, like I would literally type, hey, like my name is, John Silva. I wouldn't say from where I'm from because every time I did, they underpaid me. Because the moment I would say like I'm Portuguese, they're like, oh, Portuguese people, they paid less, third world country.
Motherfuckers, man.
So that we can.
Oh
spend
my
less time on it."
god,
So,
dude.
Like I would avoid where I'm from as hard as possible
Okay.
until I got the contract. Once I got the contract, I'm like, yeah, I'm Portuguese. They're like, they can't do shit because
That's amazing.
Yeah, I didn't know
I would
that.
keep it very, very.
That's crazy,
as
dude.
brief, like if you can just read it in like a second or less, and there's my link, they have to click once. That was really important to me. So it's like, hey, I'm John Silva, a professional. Even if I wasn't, I was still saying it.
Yeah.
I'm a professional illustrator, whatever the job position was. I find you here. Here's my portfolio. I'm interested. They click the link. Everything is already there. They don't have to do anything. And
The link brings them to this. The artstation.com/John Silva.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Okay.
is where I need to post my stuff.
Then it would be some other website that I just told you. But
Yeah, I
if
use
it's on the
Instagram,
currently, then
but I think I need to use.
How
the
did
thing
you
is that
qualify
Art-
yourself?
I think I need to use ArtStation as like I gotta look at all of my artwork and put the best of the best on there. I think that's what I need to do now. I'm actually gonna work on it tonight.
Was it literally your portfolio just carried you?
Yeah, my portfolio carried me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Once the companies, so basically you could be a no one as long as you're good, they hire you.
Yeah.
That's the one misunderstanding that people still don't seem to like get. Yeah, sometimes you can be unlucky and like the position is just full and you can't do anything about that, no matter how good you are. But if you are good enough and you match what they want, which I know it sounds weird because you can't read minds because they're working on NDAs. But I guess it's a bit of like if you have a variety in your portfolio, which was my approach, and the quality within that variety was stable. So like
Yeah,
image to image, they have.
Yeah, this guy has 9+ years on freelance. I'm on my second year on freelance. Like full time, go all in kind of thing. Of like getting jobs and stuff. I'm a baby when it comes to art. Even though I'm 28, it's because I'm a late bloomer. Bloomer. What do you call it? Boomer. A bloomer. Yeah. Like for me, it took me forever to get where I'm at, and I mean, every artist has their own journey.
They had about like the same quality.
Yeah, you're consistent.
Right? Consistent.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the word.
Okay.
Then-
I see there's a resume here as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it true that you worked on Diablo Immortal?
Yes.
Okay,
In fact,
I gotta go,
directed the
John.
website.
It was appreciate the conversation, man. But that's gonna be it
I
for
knew
me.
it. I knew it. I knew it.
Okay, yeah, that's.
Yeah.
You worked on Vermintide though, which is an awesome game. Vermintide's
True.
super cool.
I worked
Yeah,
on
makes up for
a
it.
lot of
Diablo Immortal.
So they
You blew it. Okay.
You blew it.
So yeah, I don't know if I'd put that on your resume, man. Especially like right at the top there.
Dude,
I don't know. No,
I was
it's probably a huge
I was
deal.
thinking of taking the immoral out of it. Just say Diablo. And then
Yeah,
if they ask, like, I worked on Diablo.
I actually think you should do that.
Yeah, it'd be
Oh, I don't
better.
care anymore.
You have a
I'm gonna-
you have a
Yeah, go
really good what's so interesting about you is you've developed so many good habits that I don't even think that you're necessarily like these are things that would take me like a really long time to train people in doing
Right
the
here.
consulting that you do automatically. So
Right.
for example,
Yeah.
if I'm going to come to somebody and I'm going to email them, right? I'm going to be like, "Hi, I'm Devin Nash. I'm a professional analytics person for Twitch," or whatever the job is. I'm going to be like, "This is what I do professionally." And I'm gonna like leave it there, right? I'm not gonna be like, "Hi, I draw art." No, I'm like the
No.
difference between professional illustrator, right? And so the biggest problem that I have run into when I'm consulting creatives is they don't think big enough about themselves. They would say, "I would never list myself as a professional illustrator because I'm not good enough to do that," even if their art is amazing. Like,
Yeah.
I faked it so much. I didn't think I
yeah.
was good enough at all. But
You-
I was like, my
It
desperation
makes
led
more
me
sense.
into like good habits, I guess.
Yeah,
'Cause I was just like,
I can
I need
tell
to do
you
this.
still have. It's like called like the artist dilemma because
Mhm.
I see you drawing stuff on your stream and you're like, yeah, it's okay. This is kind of not really great work. Or not. It's like this giant dragon and it's like
Oh,
it's just like shit everywhere.
Devin,
And
you haven't been watching my streams lately. Shroud followed me, so I'm the
I know
greatest
Shred
artist
followed
ever.
you. I know you did your video. I know you're drawing for the DMV commit. I have been watching your streams lately. Okay? I know everything about it.
Motherfucker.
Yes,
Dude, I'm literally the greatest artist like ever created. It's great.
Oh, okay.
Oh
So
my
you're
God.
over it now. Now you're
Yeah,
okay.
no,
He's
no,
over it.
Well, I'm glad I
$1
could fit into your
billion
schedule.
Yeah, honestly,
How did you get a gold
you
watch?
it's not gold. It's actually black.
Oh, okay.
It is the light reflection.
Yes.
Probably. I could have painted it, but anyways, sorry, we're derailing. I love talking to you. This is cool.
Yeah, derails are fine. I don't mind. Yeah, it's totally okay. It's all
All right,
good.
let's go fast
I'm
forward.
gonna hire the 90 artists that sent me a message that are like, "Hi, I'm a random artist." Am I gonna hire the guy that says, "Hi, I do fantasy art"? That's better, right?
Yeah.
Hi,
Yeah.
I do dragon art. Oh, I need a dragon.
Yeah, so there's like more direct instead of like kind of like I'm an artist and I do this kind of, you know what I mean, like the shyness of it. Like that's why I need to do that when I'm gonna message able like some of the like contacts that I got before and just go with it and see how it goes. But yeah, this is like perfect what I needed. It's like I need to just go with the confidence, because in my eyes, I'm a professional, but I could be like I just need to do better at presenting myself better because I have my own style, I have my own brand, I have all this, right? I feel like I have the right things. I just need to figure out how to showcase it better, right? But yeah, like it's because like even like for the past year, I've been saying like, oh yeah, I'm like way more confident in my art now. Like no more BSing, I'm no more like making excuses or anything like that. I'm literally just like I'm way more confident now. I'm like if somebody would tell me to do something like an artwork for a commission, I got you, bro. It's no longer maybe I could do it. I don't know. Like you know what I mean? Like it's no longer like that for me. It's no longer like that.
Dragon done. You're a dragon artist, right? That's that. The more niche you can go in your, and this is why like John building such a diverse portfolio is like so productive. Like when I look at your art station, I see everything from like Final Fantasy to like medieval like heroes to giant monsters to like gates, cyberpunk stuff. Like you have a huge variation of things that define you.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But then
True.
again, like the other side of the coin is that like I have friends who do like a very particular thing and they're very like successful at
Yeah.
it. Like only doing that one thing, like you said, like I'm the dragon guy, so I have only dragons, right? That can equally
They can
be
limit
just
you.
as good. No, that can limit you, but I have to say that it can be just as good as long as you kind of like pick the right thing. If it's something that like rarely exists or not many people want, then sure. But like let's say that you are like a character designer, right? So
Mhm.
it's still a little bit broad, but you slimmed it down to like one type of thing. I only do characters, nothing else, right? Now let's split that again and say, okay, I only do sci-fi characters, right? So you want to slim it down if you're gonna like be um what do you call it? Like, it's just if you're just gonna do that one thing, then try to slim it down to a point where it's still like broad enough.
I
I wouldn't recommend saying just I'm just a dragon guy. I would say like I'm a
fantasy
monster.
artist who does
Fantasy artist, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
well, so what I'm talking about is the pitch itself. So I'm talking
Mhm.
about the email you send to somebody, not the actual artist that you are. You may be a very diverse artist, but the email you would send to
Oh, the
somebody
actual
who
pitch.
wants
Yeah,
boss monsters done, you're going to be like,
yeah,
Like I
"Hey,
make boss monsters.
like I am a fantasy artist who
Yeah.
yeah,
specializes or has worked on many different variations of boss monsters before.
yeah,
Here are some
yeah,
examples, right?" And to
yeah.
the extent that you can specify that, um, as a person who hires a lot of people, right? I'm pretty much always hiring. I'm hiring 2 jobs right now. I've been hiring for the past 4 months. Um, I can tell you that the vast majority of the applications that I receive are blanket templates. They are a blanket resume that gets shot out. That is just a general description of what they do. I pay attention, and I know that other employers that I know pay attention to individuality to a huge degree. If you take the time to write me a specific thing about what you do, even if it's a sentence, that like
Yeah.
the amount that propels you
Okay.
above other applicants cannot be understated.
Okay.
Cannot be overstated.
Right.
Overstated.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, hold up. I have my resume. I do need to work on it for sure. It's not bad, but I need to make it better. Hello? I never made a folder for my resume? Hold up. I think I'm gonna play this right here, and then I'm looking for my resume.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the record, I hire a lot of people too. So that's I mean currently I already know what I know, right? But growing up I as an artist was kind of like I was just trying different things when like reaching out. I will still say that it is like while saying that you're like a dragon artist, I think you should maybe like take a step back and only state your from this is just from experience, state your category instead of like a particular like you said like I
Okay, hold up. So here's my resume right here. No, I moved it. Freelance girlfriends. Okay, yeah. Okay, I need to work on it because he explained mine's a blank resume. There's nothing that stands out at all. Yeah, there's nothing really that really stands out at all. Nothing at all. Um. So what would I go by? Like it has to be right here. This right here. I will have to say something like I have my own art style that I created that was inspired by graffiti art and old school cartoon. Or something like that, and then write the rest. So like maybe something like that. Um, but yeah, I will have to update my portfolio for sure. Um, yeah, I mean, it's time to move my Instagram stuff to ArtStation, to make it more look professional, and more better. So I need I need to do a lot of work on myself, the way I present myself.
I do boss
Fantasy or boss or like I think I'm a
usually
I think
yeah
if you're gonna contact a Kickstarter that's making like an RPG, and you say I'm a fantasy
well, then,
artist, that probably
well, then
yeah.
in that case you just instead of like you cut down the fat, you just say, hey, I saw you do this, I want to I can help you with that particular thing. You
Yeah.
just name it right away. If if it's like on a smaller scale, like a Kickstarter, then you go like, oh, I saw your Kickstarter for this, and then this is the type of work that you're gonna need. I can help you with that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're gonna need characters. I can help you with like those characters. But I would avoid I will say that I would avoid like 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 that can actually, if you're gonna go very particular and you say like I'm a dragon guy, that can definitely nail you a job. But what if they don't have a dragon? You need to know what they have, um to book basically.
Living in a box, but like
Yeah, pretty much.
you were living in a box.
Wait, what? What?
Okay,
Yeah.
because
Okay.
I skipped the part. I was living at home for a year. I had a year
Oh,
to
okay,
get
okay.
good.
It's about their work, and they do not think that it is of professional quality, and thus they do not reach out to people, or they do think and this is not just a lesson for creatives and artists. This is a lesson for every independent entrepreneur or person that is solving that is has a product or a service. It is
Right.
very uncommon for somebody to send a targeted email to somebody that specifies what they do and then to ask that person for work. They often have a lot of mental or psychological or barriers to doing so. For John, this is obvious,
Oh, okay.
but John seems to have done it from a point of pure just exasperation and desperation to become full time. For most
Yeah.
people, I think they have a lot of mental barriers to doing that.
That might be
Mm.
I mean, the vast majority, yes.
Okay,
I think
okay.
the reason why I'm so like surprised by you saying that is that like art communities are extremely small, and if you're in the art community, the word spreads around. So there were definitely other people doing what I was doing. The thing is that no one taught me, and then I found out that people do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, I didn't
so
know
I
anything
think
like
within
that, dude, until
circles,
today.
aka like just art community, which again it's tiny, um, by comparison to like the large world, then people definitely do what I was doing. Maybe not so much spamming everyone and everything, because then I do know friends that got um disappointed, or maybe like they just fell down the road thinking they're not good enough, like you were saying. That definitely has happened, where they just
Yeah, yeah, it
stopped
happens to a lot of people.
even trying, and
Uh-uh.
they're like, why is it not working?
Yeah,
They
same here.
start comparing their work to other people's works. It's like, why did that guy
Yeah, I think that's what I said in one of my videos. Or I think it was for a future episode. Something about like I learned not to compare myself to other artists anymore. Like I learned not to put pressure on myself trying to get to that person level. You know what I mean? Because every artist has their own levels. Everyone has their own startups and stuff like that. And I did a lot of comparison, a lot of stuff. Like at one point, I remember it was like 2 years ago where I was like, man, I need to start doing better, like art. Like I need to start doing like more detail art, like like you said right here, like that kind of art, and so I could like get better, and that's where I need to go, and this is the direction I need to do. I realized that's dumb. That's because I was drawing stuff that I didn't really want to draw, and it was something that I didn't really want to get fully into. Right, I was like, still, I want to like fully develop my own style instead of trying to copy somebody else's style. So at one point, I was like, screw it, I'm not doing that. I'm just gonna keep doing my thing, um, and go from there. Oh God. And yeah, so that's what I decided to do. Like it was it was I was same realization. So you gotta stop comparing yourself to other artists. You're just putting pressure yourself for no reason. You're just putting your like their success with yours, right? And you're just getting started, right? Or you're just going into your own journey. They can't compare to other people like that.
get a job, but I didn't. So when you reach that point where you have the same skill level as someone and you're applying to the same thing, the one thing that will separate you, actually, there's two things. The number one uh, could be the content of your portfolio.
Yeah.
Um, so like, does that match more with the studio or indie studio, whoever it is that you're applying? Does that match more with them than the other person applying, or less. And the closer you get, which is a bit of a guessing game, uh, as far as like content in your portfolio, then the higher chances of you getting hired are going to increase because you're technically doing what they already need. They just need to give you the job, right? But you can never know that unless you have either A, insider information, or B, I guess kind of lucky, or you just observe where the path of
Specific
your
jobs.
product is going. For example, magic, we can
Yeah.
jump slightly into it. Like in my case, I went from doing like small, what I would say, small studios like FFG, for example, to magic was like what was a huge jump. There was like no in between because a lot of people do climb the stairs, right? I guess I was just desperate enough and hit a level where I could already
Yeah,
work for
I
them.
wish I thought about that honestly in my early career, like early art career. But then again, like he already had a specific direction when he was younger, right? To go to that direction and email people. Because when I remember, 9 years ago, I barely started drawing. You know what I mean? Like so. Uh, so I started drawing when I was in junior year, and I figured out my art style about 4 years ago, and I became full time with my art about 2 years ago. God damn, I'm a late bloomer, man. Fudge.
Right. If you're gonna go back to, what will make you get a job,
You don't get to draw this awesome giant dragon without like really practicing how to do it.
Oh yeah, dragons are
without
hard.
practicing lizards.
Without practicing lizards. Yes.
Yeah.
I drew one dragon before.
So deliberate practice.
Do
Like
I have
I
a
was
picture of it?
doing no. Okay. Do you want? Okay. The cheat sheet kind of thing that I was doing that worked amazingly for me, but it could be different for everyone. So this is a quick PSA. But what really made me go from like 0 to
This is my style dragon right here. That was my first dragon ever. By the way, it was my first ever dragon. Yeah, I'm proud of it, but I could do better. I could do better. I could do better.
I don't know, 30-40%, which was already enough to go full time. Was I would wake up, good job, you did that.
Wake up.
Sometimes I wouldn't have breakfast. I would just start painting immediately. But I would have no music. I would have literally zero distractions. It's just me and like the painting or whatever it is that I set myself to do that day. Now, what really worked for me was I would draw from imagination without no references. So I would think of what do I want to draw today?
Oh, I do that. I
Think
do that a
about that
lot.
thing.
I do that all the
I would
time.
draw it until I'm like, fuck, I cannot improve this in any way, shape, or form. Right?
Yeah,
And
I
then
get that.
when
I
I
get
hit that
that.
wall, I closed everything, grabbed references, then studied them. So the study, like I mentioned earlier on, is you take the references, you draw to them, right, while analyzing what you're doing. So I wasn't shutting off my brain. I'm like,
What can I
oh,
do better with this
this line
character
goes
or
over
design?
this area or above that the eye, and the eye like turns around this way. Like I'm thinking about what I'm doing, right? I'm not just like empty in my head and copying, because copying is different than dissecting the thing you're looking at, right? So I would do studies that related to the thing that I'm painting, and I would do a study for everything that was included in my painting. So if I had like a guy riding a dragon, like a knight riding a dragon, and
We
they're like in
started the
this
night,
field
the
with like a
dragon, the
castle in the back, like
enemy.
very fantasy type of setting, I would have a reference for every single element in the
Yeah.
painting, which oftentimes like stacked up to like 20, sometimes even 30.
So it'll be like the arm position, the anatomy, the castle, the environment, body types, weapons, arms. I can think of 7 right now, on top of my head for like what you will probably be looking at. Which I kind of did. I kind of did the same with my art. Like I found some stuff that I don't know what to do, and I look for references, but I don't fully study them. So I think that's the problem with me, that I need to study them more. Like these characters right here, the problem with this for me was very hard for me was the hands, because I don't really study hands. Um, so yeah, I see where it's coming from that. It's like got to study like every single part that you want to do. Okay. I'm getting it. I'm getting that.
techniques
Getting that.
that I would just like study to, that then I would apply that knowledge back into the painting. So it oftentimes meant like I would redraw the same thing because I now I have all these new knowledge that I didn't had before, and I would apply the studies into the painting, right? And I
Okay.
would do that like over and over and over and over and over again every day.
So holy shit. Now we're getting into like yeah. So like I hope that
That's my
people that are like the last
Actually, you know what? I actually got. Now I know what. Now I know why this sounds familiar, because I do that with my characters. I draw them over and over and over again. Now, yeah, I spread them. I spread them around, right? But I draw them over and over, right? Like I drew my like Trilby character right here like 5 times already. Like an illustration, like there's one right here. Um, Another one is like way over here, and then another one right there. And so I kept drawing over and over. And same thing with Ombi and all that. Like a lot of these characters, I keep drawing over and over. And some of them are easy to draw now, like from the top of my head. But yeah, I still gotta practice the anatomy and stuff. But like for to draw characters on top of my head, it's kind of like it's becoming second nature to me to some of these characters to just draw on top of my head. Like I don't have to fully look at references of my own stuff.
5 minutes of that explanation, people are listening because this is what creates a top tier artist. What like I want you to be very I want to be very crystal clear because John won't say it himself. Nothing he's done is an accident. He is this good because he worked at it. He earned it. And you can be too.
True.
Right? That is so you
Shroud can also follow you. Follow your dreams.
Fucking
what
jerk.
is your take on artists and creatives and people in sort of the independent category who begin to monetize via their
All right, sorry
communities
for.
so you have kind of recently been making a transition into becoming earning more income off of broadcasting and off of and I think this is like really interesting and I think this is another vertical that people can pursue, right? So up until now we've just been talking about like this is how to get work with studios, this is how to get work with like individuals or maybe
And there was like a bunch of problems with it as well. So we were all trying to find a different place to go to, and we knew about Twitch. Creative section wasn't even a thing yet. Now it's called art. Back then it was like creative. And I did stream. It was like 2016, but it was very on and off thing. I don't think I was even listing myself into anything. It was very like just me and my friends
Mhm.
type of thing. Then I'm like, oh shit, people stream games. That's pretty neat. Let me see what people do. And I got hooked up. I just got hooked up on watching streams. I would literally um my first favorite streamer was CDN the Third. Um and I love watching his like RP. Who was
RPG and
RP
stuff like that.
H1Z1? I think it's like very early on. He had like barely 100 viewers or
Mhm.
something. But anyways, I'm like, oh my god, this is so entertaining, right? And
Yeah,
I
mine
feel
was
like I
Maximilian.
was influenced
Maximilian dude.
initially by that person because when I started streaming art, I'm like, art is kind of art is kind of boring. I want to I want to make jokes and have fun while I do art. So we're just like hanging out. So I feel like I took a little bit from that, and then I expanded. I started watching more streams because he was the only one I was watching. And I'm like, oh, there's more people. Let's watch more people. So I kept clicking here and there, randomly finding people, and honestly, that's all I was doing was just watch Twitch, and I would stream like very rarely,
Hmm.
uh, even back then. And but when I would, it would be fine because um, I had the following on Facebook. It's important to mention that
You know what?
I already had.
I have been noticing lately. A lot of these people been having following somewhere else before Twitch. Not like the ones I know. They had their platform where like they did they grow really big on Instagram, Facebook, they did art or somewhere different before streaming. Um, and that makes total sense. That's why they when they got to streaming, they had people right away, right? They didn't have to like really work to get a lot of viewers because they already had other people that some people migrated to Twitch. Now it's like the very smart thing to do.
Had a following
That I
of
wish I'd done.
people I could bring over, right? So while I was growing, Facebook was a huge like deal at the time, especially for art. Like if you got like 1K likes back in the day,
That's insane.
um,
Yeah.
that is insane, and that's pretty much what me and my friends were like getting at the time. And then it died, and I moved to Twitter, and that was a whole different thing. But anyways, around that time, I'm like, I really like. I fell in love. I fell in love with streaming. It's like I was addicted. I am addicted. I just want to. Um, at this point, it's not even just an art thing. It's like you gotta like streaming, in a combination with what you're doing, and it just so happens that I can do what I do due to the fact that I have a lot of experience while like kind of like shutting off my brain or half of my brain and stream and entertain, but I'm still doing this thing that people come for, that they like what they see,
Yeah.
right? So it
Yeah,
was a
yeah,
huge
I get
practice, and
that.
it was really difficult to like read chat, keep up with chat, and draw at the same time, right?
Hmm.
I'm still figuring it out.
Because you're technically doing equations on your head, right? You're thinking about the light and is it gonna hit in this particular area on the arm or not? But at the same time, I'm like, oh, what? I don't know, random fucking question. What's the color of your socks or some shit? I don't know. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like separating the two.
this kind of goes back to deliberate practice, that like this may be a reason why you may not want to stream all of your work doing, right? Like, because you might know, if you're not as accomplished or far along as an artist like you
Hmm.
may want to spend some time in deliberate practice without any kind of input.
See, that's what I should have done in the beginning. But then I guess for me, for it was like a little bit opposite, and I'm getting my own experience because I'm watching it, so it'd be kind of weird if I don't say anything. Um, for me, it was opposite a little bit. I think I got better as an artist because of Twitch, because like I seen everybody what they were doing, but I was comparing myself at that time, but also because like the feedback I got from like people throughout the years and all that, and what could I work on, and it's a lot better than it was even a year ago or 2 years ago.
I would
I'll say 2 years
stream
ago.
parts.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
would be
Hmm.
my recommendation,
Yeah.
right? So you do stuff offline, go live, work a little bit on it while you practice whatever, I don't know, whatever the fuck you want to do on stream.
So
I don't really. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I should.
I want to talk about a concept. Have you ever heard a concept called 1,000 true fans?
Yes. Yeah.
No.
Okay, this is
Yeah. It's like I'm just gonna explain it, but before he goes to that, I was gonna explain it too. But why am I gonna explain it? A part that's what I noticed. A lot of people. I should have done the same thing. I probably should do the same thing now. Where I sketch it out. I draw it out of the design that I'm working on, and then get straight to the coloring on stream only. And I think that the reason that's the best way to do it is because I'm not gonna lie. When I do art in the beginning, there's not that many people that come by, right? There's lurking, they're saying stuff here and there. But when I do coloring, when I'm coloring the design, when it's like more, it gets more pop, especially like with the screenshot, whatever. Um, that gets people's attention. That gets a lot more people's attention. So, because like when I do a project and it's like in progress and stuff like that, and I'll finish it all in one day, and I come back and I go work on it still, and it's all you see all the color ones I've done already, all the whatever, all the like like details and all that. It gives people like, oh shit, what is this? What am I looking at? Oh wow, this looks dope. So yeah, that is something that I think I need to start doing more is work on the concept art, the sketch, and then go from there. Like get that out of the way, and then stream the rest. That from beginning to end now. Middle
I think
to end now.
this for independent people is the most important and I say like creatives or
Content creators or anything. You want at
any
least
kind of
like
creatives or any kind of
100 to
people trying
1,000
make their brand. This is
fans.
probably the most
True
important
fans.
concept that they can learn in terms of marketing. So 1,000 true fans is if you have 1,000 people, okay,
Yep.
in your community total, and they will pay you $100 a year. So every year they pay you a total of $100. That could be products, subscription. So it may seem like a lot, but think about it in terms of Twitch subscriptions, right?
Yeah.
If all they do is subscribe to you, that's already $60, right? Because it's 5 times 12, and then from there you got to show up another 40 from each individual person. It's not that much when you consider it. Okay, Patreon is another way. There's a lot of different ways we can talk about it. $100 a year with 1,000 people is how much money?
I have no idea. There's math.
10,000?
I don't do mathematics.
$100,000
a year.
Wait,
which is a pretty good living, right?
Holy
so
that's very good.
The lesson here is that we often think that we need millions of people to be able to activate or create a brand. Or,
No.
like we need these like millions and millions of people to do this.
Like honestly,
in
like
fact,
even though 100
you
alone,
you need a
to
very
start with.
small amount of people potentially paying and supporting you. And for this reason, once you understand this, you need to focus on capturing individual people who are going to support you, and then branching that out to the point where you are self-sustaining. And a lot of people don't need 100K, by the way. They might need 80 or 70 or 50.
Yeah, yeah.
And now it's only 500 people or 600 people or whatever, right? Or you can also do it where you have less people but more money, or slightly more people but less money, right? But this concept, this idea is that I think for independents and creatives, they shouldn't be trying to become like the #1 streamer on Twitch or the #1.
Oh yeah.
They should be working on
a core community,
maybe that's
a core
later, like
a core support.
Start to like grow your subscriber base. You can grow more people.
Because like even like for me, right? Like even like if I had like 10 people like liking my stuff, right? That's 10 likes right there. 10 shares. 10 people donating $100 a year, right? It's not a lot. But I'm just saying, like, even just with 10 is a good start, and then you go to like 50, and then you go to 100, and then like 200, 300, 400, like, and then you go from there. Like people that actually support you, not just through money, but like even just imagine if 200 people just hit like on your like social media stuff, likes and all that. That right there will help you grow, expand, like bigger, right? They don't even have to donate that, donate money, just by liking a post on Instagram, Twitter, whatever it is. I don't know how ArtStation works really, but it does work with likes. If 50 people just hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that retweet button, that will get it to so many different people. That I will help the artist so much just by doing that, or not, or even just like a freelancer in general. It doesn't have to be art, but just by doing that, it helps it out so much.
I saw on your screen when you were streaming, you have like 400 subs or something like that.
I have 560.
Yeah,
right now.
So already
my highest was like 800 or something.
So already with what do you have a Patreon?
No.
Why not?
Because it's like, okay, there's two reasons. The reason number one is just I don't see myself having like time for it.
Okay.
And the second reason is just it felt like double dipping, which I know you're like.
Yeah, I'm gonna Baby rage, yeah. So I'll just skip the baby rage and say that for the vast majority of creators, if the thing that you have to consider is that the first point from John is valid, that he has decided to focus a lot on broadcasting. The broadcasting is working for him in that he is monetizing via 500 subs, getting more viewers. He's doing collaborations in the community. He's doing a lot of the things that we talk about all the time on this channel, right?
Right.
That are like becoming Arcadum's art director, doing art for me, of course, is what made him the most popular. Not Moon or Soda Pop or anything. None of that. It was me.
True.
Yes, it's well known that I create every large streamer on this platform. Just keep that in mind.
Very correct.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Very correct.
Okay, as the number
I
one
stand
business and
by it.
industry person on Twitch, just
Absolutely.
yeah.
No cap. No cap.
Just I know it's obvious, but
Oh my
Okay,
god.
I need did it again, and
Let's go to the
thank you for
summary
that
part.
on because of Stirs D&D.
to this, putting someone like Silva decodes in the title, this is not worth doing, right? Nobody knows who Silva is, and nobody cares that you decode.
I was doing it. You are right. I was
yeah,
doing it
mhm.
purely as an archive thing.
Understood. I think
Yeah.
that going forward, when you get back into this, because presumably you'll be at a point where you want to do it again.
Yes, absolutely.
Using that video like how to paint like Valorant, this is a great YouTube title, and this is why this overperformed all of your other videos by 3x. Right? It is like
How to paint like
draw
Valorant.
just
Okay.
like draw Valorant characters easily, or draw just like Valorant. Like that kind of title is really really powerful. And I see you're already doing something where you're like teaching art and you're teaching the concepts of it, which I think is really good to do on YouTube. If you just do a little bit more work on the thumbnails and titles, these would literally be 20 to 40K view videos, all of them.
What would you
Wow.
say to do better in when it comes to thumbnails?
So let's just take the Valorant video. Like and this is already like improving on something like this, but like if I was gonna say something like this, I might say like
Check out the Silva
how to
code, the
draw
codes.
just like how to
Valorant?
draw, or like 3 easy ways. It's gonna sound like really corny, but just like bear with me. 3 easy ways to draw Valorant characters. Drawing Valorant characters. Drawing Valorant like a pro. A pro artist draws Valorant. Yeah, I understand what I'm doing, but it works. Like that's it, right? And then you might have like a picture of one of the characters, like a picture of a pencil, and like maybe like the shading that's like kind of like grayed out, and then like into like in like a red arrow pointing to like the finished image. Yeah, and that
Okay.
same thing would have made this video from 3.4K to like 20 or 40K straight up, with no difference in the content whatsoever. I promise you.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Alright.
I think you have to sort of make your titles
So-
more accessible.
So with the thumbnail, YouTube. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, with the thumbnail, I did put find your art, find your style, creating characters, stuff like that. But I need to make it more better. Like for thumbnails, because they're not really 100% readable. Oh wait, I'm reading the gaming. Yeah. So I gotta like instead of putting, I gotta put myself out and then just focus on putting the drawing and then a thumbnail right there. To think of art chronicles, I think I should take it out and just put how to find your art style, how to create characters, stuff like that. I think I should leave that, and then the think of art chronicles would just be like the playlist and stuff like that, and I don't feel like really worried about it naming it on the title. I think that'd be the best choice. I think I'm gonna try it out on episode 4.
But like easy way like easy ways to paint like or a pro artist like draws Valorant, or like
I'm cringing. Okay.
yeah,
Sorry.
but that's what works. So like, dude,
Yeah.
this is just, you can play the game,
Anime boy paints anime girl.
but like
Go.
I don't make the rules for how the game is played.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
know,
you know what I mean? Like
know.
and for what it's worth, like I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
But like
One of us. Oh
I
yeah.
caught her cheating with a pokey thumbnail as an imposter. I'm looking at Ludwig's videos right now. I mean,
It's simple, but it is.
this 10 out of 10, dude. Like, you may not like it, but
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
that's what's on the menu, dude.
Yeah,
Yep.
makes sense.
Like, this video will do insanely good, and it works. Like, title and YouTube stuff. I think one of the big things that a lot of like artists or people that are all kind of independent creators do this really is like they'll say something like what you do, which is like you'll try to tell the people exactly what the video is. These how to paint like series, these are your best series because everyone wants to know how to paint like that, and it's a really like how to use dynamic brushes. This didn't get a lot of traction because you don't tell me why I should care. The number one tool to improve your artwork, right? That's the way you could name that video.
Okay.
Or like, right, and like that kind of thing gets more people engaged, and then you reveal in it that you like that it's the dynamic brushes. You need to make people care, right? So like how to color skin, why do I care about that? Right? Like you have to teach me why I care, right? For all of these things. Like the most important thing you have to know about color in art, right?
Oh, I
Like,
know one.
yeah.
How to be the Shroud of Art. Let's go.
Good. Great title. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm fucking dead serious. I'm not memeing you.
Yeah.
Yeah. How
That's
how to become the most popular artist, like how to become a popular artist. I charge $500 an hour for my art. Here's how. I charge $1,000 for my art. Here's how. I charge like whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, like dude, it's no coincidence. And like listen, I hate doing this too, and that's why my YouTube channel sucks. But if I look at my most popular videos, number 1, 436K views. How much money? Top 1%.
Yeah.
It's the dumbest, most clickbait title with a picture of fucking Pokey looking surprised and Ninja holding bars of gold with red circles around them. I literally went as clickbait as possible, and it worked. I hate it, but that's the reality. That's the world that we live in.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
Right? Like so.
Yeah, I get
So
you.
so
Yeah.
you don't. So here's the thing to remember. Okay, like you don't have to go full dummy and be like John Silva kissing prank. Number 3 ways artists gone sexual. Okay, like you don't. That's like 100. Okay, you can go anywhere on the scale. From 0
Fucking
to 100.
hey, dude.
Okay, so I'm not telling you to go all the way to 100, but I'm telling you you're at like 0 to 10 right now. And you need to like bump those numbers up to like 40 or 50. Does that make sense?
No, please do that. Okay, artists gone sexual.
How many people would click John Silva gone sexual? I would click that instantaneously.
Stop. No. Oh god. Okay.
Yeah. But the way to think about this is it's your job to make people care. How to create custom shapes in Photoshop? The one Photoshop trick to take your art to the next level, right? You have to make people care. Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
And if you and I think you are in a really incredible position to establish yourself as an art authority on YouTube and Twitch because of a combination of your collabs and your mastery, your expertise. And you could very easily like you might be one of the best positioned people to be like the artist authority on Twitch. If you take these steps.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure if I care about that, but
what do you care about?
Yeah, I mean, like, if you want to grow on YouTube, you got to be generic as fuck.
To you about is
oh god,
yes, you know it's not an art stream.
Not good.
When you really...
yeah, not an art stream. Yes.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
If I could make full-time income sitting here playing Path of Exile, which is one of my favorite games of all time, I would do this.
Yeah.
Okay. Like the fact of the matter is that if I switch this stream right now over to playing Path of Exile, I will probably get a 20th of the viewers if I'm lucky. Okay? Because my core competency and the thing that I am really good at is I am the #1 industry authority on Twitch and YouTube and in this form of media. So people come to watch, and I think like I have a lot to say about this subject, right? Like, I used to be a game streamer on Twitch. I was a variety broadcaster.
Yeah.
I don't stream games on Twitch now at all. When the reason is because
See, this is the thing I'm thinking about. Like, oh my god, dude. Because like, art is one thing, right? And it's like on Twitch, it's so hard to grow with art right now because there's not that much support within artists. Like from Twitch, that I feel what I've seen. There's not that many support. So it's like when I, cause like, and then for example, when I play, for me when I play a game, it's automatically I'm getting people automatically. But when I do art, I get people, but it takes time. And I think one of the reasons is because I need to be flashy as possible with art, right? So I got to take out the sketch part and the outline part out and add only the coloring and the outline again, and that's it. But that would be like the flashy thing. So yeah, I completely get it.
Because when I when I start my stream, my viewers have an expectation for what they're going to get. They're going to get a show that is entertaining / informative and centered around meta topics that the internet cares about. Okay. If I
The one thing,
build,
yeah, go ahead.
I know where this is going. So this is not all bad news. Don't worry, because I know what your objective is.
I'm already crying. It's okay.
Okay.
That's
If I get to the point, and so like I'm at the point now where I've started to kind of think about how would I branch that out to do different types of things. And so one thing I might do is like a Ludwig or a Mizkif type contest, okay, which would be sort of like a horizontal pivot, right? It would be close. So for example, like we review top 10 anime fights. Obviously, we can't
Yeah.
do that because of DMCA, but like like stuff like that, right? And like
Yeah.
you start like making content that's actually like directed or like show oriented content. I could easily transition to that. But if I go play like I don't know, like Cyberpunk, like in next month, like I'm probably gonna have like a fraction of it. So in that sense, I think the good and bad news here is the good news is you've already done something that most people can't do, which is you've found something that works. You have a core competency, you have a strength, and you need to use it.
There you go.
And then from
I
there,
updated my title.
you
See
can
what
branch
happens.
out into things very gradually. But
Yeah.
the way to do that is by establishing yourself. So let's use another streamer who I talk about a lot, Scissorin. Do you know him?
Yes.
Path of Exile streamer.
Yes.
Doesn't necessarily want to play Path of Exile for his entire life.
Right. Nobody wants to do
So
that.
his strategy is he has started doing ARPG content on YouTube.
Like
Which
slowly.
like, maybe he'll do a review of a
Like go slowly what he want. Okay, yeah, I
Lost
get it.
Ark or Wolfson or a game like that, right?
Yeah.
And so he'll slowly start to branch out and be
that thing that I'm doing, like opposite from art. It's not something I always wished. It's just it naturally came to be. It was like a very, very gradual transition. It still is. I never want to stop doing art on stream. That's something I've have like decided.
Yeah, I get
Like
that.
ultimately. Someone I look up to actually, I wish I would watch more of her streams, which is Daph. She does art pretty much every single day.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm. I had
And
a
she does
long
very
talk
well
with Daph.
in-
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean that'd be
okay,
fun with like
I
with
don't
Dab's kind of
choose the
community.
type either.
Because 35 Dab, she does art and then she does gaming, but she gains whatever the hell she wants, and she still has those viewership. She has those people still. That's where like
ego.
I want to
It's
get
not an
there.
ego thing.
But
Before I say what I want to say, when I look at people overall and I see them succeed, I don't know why. Maybe it's because I am naive, but if someone else can do it, I kind of believe I can do it too, which is why I even got into art to begin with, because I saw that people draw in like insane drawings, and I'm like, I could do this, so I like went ahead and did it. Now they're fucking spamming me hard.
It's okay. Yeah.
It's fine. So I was like, I feel like if people, they're just people.
sorry,
Sad.
I went back to my
He's
YouTube.
just a guy. Deaf. He's just a girl. And I don't know why I have like a gut feeling that gradually, with a lot of work, with a lot of, just streaming and all that, I feel like it could be possible. I'm not saying like reaching that level, but like
Okay.
possible to just do whatever I want.
Couple of
Kind of
things,
thing.
right? One is that many of the broadcasters aforementioned are people who succeeded on one game and then branched out. Moon, for example, on Overwatch.
I should have done that, dude. That's the thing. Oh my god, dude. So in the beginning, when I was doing Mario Maker and Smash Bros stuff, I was growing, dude. I was going 20 to 50 viewers average, right? But my dumbass was like, if I just put up with it just a little bit longer, like another year or two, I don't know, I could have been partnered by now and also had a big community. And then what I could have done is slowly transition to art, right? I could have done art in the background, stuff like that. I could have gone and do all that. That would have been the more smarter way to do it and playing the game on Twitch and as a streamer. But no, I literally stopped. I completely stopped and went from game to art. Now what I'm doing is I'm doing art still, but I'm slowly doing gaming. Like I'm not doing as much gaming. I'm just doing slowly. I'm only doing 2 days of gaming. But yeah, that is exactly what I should have done, and that's one of my regrets of Twitch. Right, that's one of the regrets I felt like that's exactly what it was. I betrayed everybody. That's like you're probably joking, but that's literally what could have. That's literally what happened. That's literally what happened. That's literally what happened because I didn't give no warning. I didn't give anything like that. Like, oh hey guys, I'm gonna do some art. Like slowly. No, I just literally just stopped playing games and I just did art. I have some people still there from my gaming days, like very few. But yeah, literally everybody. Like, dude, I got like so many unfollows. Like when I started doing gaming and went straight to art, I lost like no joke, 1,000 followers. Like I lost like 1,000 followers within 1 year, and all of them because I changed from gaming to art. Like no joke. Now they have no one to turn. They have a bunch of people to turn to. Shut up, Roger. But like, yeah, that's the part that I will. That's one of the biggest things I will regret as a Twitch streamer. Is that like I didn't do it right. I didn't transition from gaming to art well at all. Like it was very bad. It was it was very bad the way I did it. The way I did it was horrible. And that's something that I will tell people to this day: do not do that. Grow your community. If you're getting tired of the game, slowly play something else, but continue growing the thing that you're good at, or that people watch you for. And then once you grow big enough, where you feel like if you transition, it's not gonna be as bad, right? And Journeyman did it. He was doing average 200, and then when he switched to art, but I don't know if he did it slowly, but he switched it. He got like 60 to 70 viewers average, which is still good. And then he could continue growing from there. Um, but yeah, I did it wrong. I was doing average 20 to 50 viewers, and then I just completely stopped and did art, and I went back to like 0 to 5 viewers, and I'm still. I'll admit it, I'm still kind of stuck there, and it's like that's why I'm focusing on a lot of things that I'm doing now. Like I'm actually paying attention instead of just start streaming, just go with that. You know what I mean? I'm starting to pay attention, and this is something that's one of my biggest regrets of all time. And hopefully that people that want to get into this do not do that. Do not do that. Especially for a beginner streamer.
Carnage on Never Win a Nights, right? So we can go there. The second thing is that the things and the rules that
How
apply
you doing,
to
Roger? By the
those
way,
people at those times may not be the same rules as now. For example, that if you can grow at that time, you may not be able to grow now at that present moment when the market is much more saturated. That's why I'm saying that if you are going to succeed, so I'll end that statement and then I'll ask you a question. If you are going to succeed, I think YouTube is a critical component of your success. That said, what is your definition of success? How big do you want to get, and how many, what in your mind seriously looks like, and you can sit back and be like, this is where I want to be, and I'm happy with it.
I'm curious of its answer for sure. For me, it's being stable.
That's a good question. I feel like
for me, being a successful artist is where when the for me is basically when my art makes money on its own. Meaning like its products are being made of my characters, of my art, and all that, and I don't have to do shit no more. That is success to me. Where it's like people are buying the products and stuff like that, shirts, toys, whatever it is. People continue buying them, and it just gain you revenue by itself. You don't have to do it that much anymore. You don't. I don't have to do anything anymore. I don't have to lift a pencil as much anymore. That is what successful is to me. Like success to me is that's what it is. Like where the art, the characters, the brand makes the money on itself, and that's kind of the direction I've been going to. That's why I do like different stuff, right? Like that's why I've been doing like vinyl. Like I'm about to do a big vinyl painting and trying to get into that world more. That's why I got like shirts already like pretty much like made. Posters, like I made my first poster and it was a success. I made all my money back in extra. Stickers and then prints. And then I want to get into making hats, uh, shoes, all this stuff. So I want to get to a point where like it just makes money on itself. That's what success is to me.
I'd like to make okay from a let's talk money because it's easier an easy measurement because comfortability and all that. Like I'd like to make as much as I was making in like working with studios, which is like 3.5 maybe 4K, and that's like good to me like I personally consider that successful. You definitely can earn more. Like I've done projects where I was like getting 10K, but those are like far and few in between. I'd say just like livable wage, and I get to have fun. Smile. That's pretty much it. Okay, so the like another thing I need to add is like I regardless of how young I look, I don't really like talking much about my past, but I will just touch on the fact that I never got to enjoy my young adulthood, which I think may be why I'm kind of like, like I'm reacting the way that I do, where I just want to have fun and do like silly things because I actually never got to do that as a young adult. Like that was like stripped away from me. It wasn't like my choice, so to speak. So now I found an outlet that I'm passionate about that slowly like it was none of this was pre-planned. It was just go live. Oh, there's cool people. I like this. Let's do it again and again
Remember
and
I
again
didn't
and
do
again.
chat.
And then it's just evolved into, me talking to you, me talking to anyone, really, right? It was a very natural transition. I didn't
Yeah, he started when he was 14, dude.
pinpoint things or did things like I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm gonna do this thing today. Like it was literally like, what do I want to do today? Go live, do it. Just so happens that it was art
I went
because
on a bike ride today.
a lot of them were
Yo,
commissions. So a lot of my
it's a little bit weird, different thing, but like me just waking up early, guys, is doing so much for me. I went on a bike ride. I literally just rode my bike for like a 30 minutes to 40 minutes. I got tired as fuck. That's how bad I am. But I actually enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot, dude. I just went on my bike and just rode it. I just had fun like that. Like, even though I'm not making crazy amount of money, I have more freedom now that I have like even like 5 years ago, right? So it's like I'm just riding my bike. That's all I wanted now. Like breathe the fresh air, going outside, get the sun on me and stuff like that.
my time is spent in front of the computer painting, might as well do it with people, right?
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it.
Okay, so if your goal is $4,000 a month doing anything that you want, that's definitely attainable. I think if your goal is like I want to be Moon and stream any game I
No.
want to 10,000 viewers, I'll be like,
No. No,
yeah,
I care only about chat and chat only. I will say this, that if my chat was trash, I would stop streaming. I don't
yeah,
care
I
if
would too.
if I had
Yeah, I
4,000.
would too. One of the things I hate telling them this because then they start feeling good about themselves, and I don't ever want them to do that. But I really value the amount of intellect that comes in from this community especially when we are discussing like really deep business issues or things like that. because they often add a lot more to the conversation than even I can. And it's super valuable.
That's true.
So I
That is true.
understand that. I am also a streamer who's decided to try to. Granted, I guess it's part time, but it's not the same exact corollary. But I've opted to do things that make the community good instead of make the community big, right?
Yes.
In a marketing sense, I know the difference between those two things, right? I'm willing to sacrifice, I'd say, like 90% more viewership, where I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure if I did the stuff, if I implemented every marketing tactic that I know, that I could be like 5 to 7K Andy, right? But the cost of that would be
A lot of time.
not only a garbage chat, but I would also be like, in my mind, like far lower tier of a person to have to
Yeah,
create
pretty
the kind
much.
of content that would beget that audience.
I will say that I may be speaking out of line here. I probably am, but I'll still say, uh, I feel like chat is very much a reflection of the
The
streamer.
broadcaster.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where like the same chatter will be like very wholesome, very caring, and positive in one chat, but literally the moment like five
They'll
minutes
be
later
shit
they'll look at
posting.
someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit posting and
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
So the reason why
I know a
really
couple
care
shit
about, like,
posters.
viewership, and I'd say like other than being stressed of having like a higher view count or low, right, is the fact that it doesn't matter if my focus is on streaming. I could have 10,000 people and it'll still be the same. It's just a faster chat, like,
Mm.
you know, and make it somewhat entertaining, not only for them but for me, because dude, art can get pretty boring once you do it for a while. You know,
Actually, yeah, he's probably right for that because he's been drawing for about 10 years. But like the thing is about him, he figured out what he wanted to do of art 14 years old when he barely started drawing. Um, he's been professional for 3 years. I'm on my second year. Yeah, this guy's in a whole different level than I am because he started working with companies. I didn't do anything like that, and I need to start doing that.
you do the same thing for 10 years, it becomes like second nature. So I try to find things that will make it funny. Like humor to me is a huge thing. Um, and
Right. And
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
I definitely hit more than 4K currently. I don't know for how long that's gonna last,
Right.
but it's, that's totally possible. But I feel like the only thing is that I only do commissions right now. It's on stream and I have fun, but then it leaves very little time for me to do my own
Mm-hmm.
like stream thing.
Yeah, your own thing and stuff.
Essentially,
Yeah,
I'm
your
trying.
own
He
I
wants
art.
to stream a
like,
lot.
I do.
Yeah, and one of the biggest recommendations that I have, so like you streamed like 113 hours in the last 30 days, is you can usually do more with less when it comes to streaming. And I know this is and this is with the caveat that I understand that you genuinely love to do it and that's why you're doing it.
Yeah.
But you also have to balance that against your life and brand goals. And I usually recommend that people take like 10 to 20%. That's 2 minutes out of every 10 in their day. Instead of streaming to spend it on something deliberate, like in the same way that you did deliberate practice, do deliberate work.
Yeah, like I do the opposite, right? I do my personal art on stream, and I to build my brand, and I do offline stuff, commissions. That's what I do. If it's like a traditional, I'll do it on stream, right? Like a painting or drawing, I'll do it on stream. But like commissions are like digital for the most part. Anything digital, people don't really like when I do digital that much. So all that digital stuff, like whether I'm gonna do my stuff or commissions, I do that offline. Always offline.
To grow your brand and grow your content.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I think that's attainable.
that looks like YouTube. That looks like
Yeah,
right,
YouTube.
and like
YouTube is my goal
because
right now.
I think that for you, that income is going to come from a combination of commission work, and subscription and revenue from streaming, and then Patreon. Like if you do all these things, it sounds like a lot, but really it's like you're streaming 4 to 6 hours. You're using those VODs to upload to YouTube with the proper titles and thumbnails. So you're not even like really creating separate YouTube content. and then you have a Patreon and you have your commission work, you'll probably hit closer to like 9 to 10K a month, pretty easy.
Yeah, that'd be insane to make 9 to 10K a month.
And we can do like a
As a
follow-up
freelance
talk
artist?
about that whole subject and like break that down, because I think this was like a talk for artists and creative people, which was immensely valuable in the sense of like how you broke down and described like your journey here is like so.
My stream.
Get that CTA going.
All right. Well, yeah, okay. I really do like this. Imposter syndrome is a thing. What is imposter syndrome again? I see that everywhere. It's loosely defined as doubting your abilities and feel like a fraud. Oh, that was me. Yeah, that was me like 3 years ago. Yeah. Yeah, I no longer feel like a fraud. I'm a fucking beast. Four 5-star don't drop for 16 hours a day is legit though. Yeah, I do agree on that. I mean, for me, I went too crazy. I mean, I draw somewhere every day, but I don't draw like 16 hours. I draw like maybe an hour a day or something like that. Unless I'm streaming, then it's longer. But I don't go too crazy on drawing that much anymore. Like I still practice, but I don't go too crazy on drawing anymore. That's why I have more time to play games or do other stuff and yeah, that kind of thing. And now that my sleep schedule is a lot more better, I'm telling you guys, I'm getting a lot more. I'm getting a lot more shit done right now, dude. I'm even have a video right now rendering, and I could render while stream because it's not the internet. So, yeah, I like that. I like it. Yeah, I gotta work. Yeah, so, yeah, I liked it a lot. I liked it. This will be uploaded on YouTube. Just like it's kind of like a reaction kind of thing. That's the new thing I've been doing lately too. It's just like reacting to content that I want to react to and talk about and get my own perspective about me. And this is a perfect video for me because like artists, and I'm like trying to take things to the next level. And a lot of things what you said, especially with YouTube, where like you want to use those cringy, simplistic titles. It helps a lot, right? And I did one right now. I changed one of my titles. Maybe it's already too late for the uploading, but when I'm gonna upload my next YouTube channel, I'm gonna put a cringy title. Like I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna put a cringy title and see how it is and stuff like that. This one put how to create characters like the pros, or I maybe to put graffiti pros. Or something like that. Yeah, I think that'd be that'd be better. And then like how to create your art how to take your art to new levels, something like that. So I took out the Think of Art Chronicles instead. I'm gonna put them in the description right here, and it will also be in the playlist, right? So yeah, and then I could just write them right here. I could write them right here as well. So it's like, oh, this is the next episode, but I like Think of Art Chronicles is just something that like nobody cares. Right? No, what do I care about Think of Art Chronicles? Like, what is that? I don't give a fuck. So it does make sense. So I gotta start using more simplistic and cringier titles. That's the way YouTube works. So I will take that to heart and work on that for sure. All right, so I'm done with that. I'll be uploading this on YouTube, and then we're gonna get started on Resident Evil. Let's get it.